So I've been seeing a little bit of controversy bring about the whole Hazbin Hotel thing. And no, I'm not going to talk about how overambitious the plotters are, how confusing the motives are, or how fast-paced everything is, leading everything to be undercooked. Or the dialogue just using an absurd amount of curse words in place of jokes. Mostly because I haven't watched it yet. I only watched episode 1 and the other half of episode 2. And some scenes, so I can't really talk about the show other than what I just saw. And I'm not willing to buy Amazon Prime or ask our friends at school, because I don't think I have the bravery to watch it in public. And even if I can, what would even be the point? Everybody's brothers, sisters, grandma's dogs, twice removed cousins already talking about it. So instead I'm going to be going more in depth with the art since I'm more familiar with the art of Vivian's work. So let's get it all the way. The characters are very skinny just for them having all the same body types. So almost all of them wear tuxedos. They don't even have any organs, I bet.
Wait, there's lots of other characters if you don't like the Pixie Sorcerer.
No, there aren't. They're all just the same with different costumes. Okay.
But I cannot deny that some designs do have really cool details with them, like Alistair never frowning, and when everything gets demonic, it has so many rad little details that make it look really cool. So let's answer the question. Is that Hazbin Hotel art style really bad? Thought-provoking question, I know. I should get an award for this. Vivian, by the way, if you ever see this video, please do not block me. Alright, let's get back to the video. You know what? You should better subscribe, by the way. Let's try to get to 10k views this time. And if we do, I'll draw a rotoscope guy from Smiling Friends. I think the problem that I see people having with these designs is that they feel too OCE, if that makes any sense. Like the characters all having the same conventional body types and them having too much details in some unnecessary places. Trying to make them all look as different as possible, which kind of just blends them all together in a weird way. And I wish there would be a lot more diverse with their designs because the only character that's not a toothpick is Mammon from Hell of a Boss. And his design looks rad. I wish there was more characters with a more clear shape to them. There's also like the style of the eyes and mouth having like a arched look to them. And to be honest, I kind of like the style. The expressions look a lot more like sharper. I always like it in the pilot or in Hell of a Boss whenever the mouth extends through the face or whenever the character's silhouette showing through the shadows with the eyes just showing out. It always looks really cool. To be honest, I kind of wish they played more with the demonic imagery, trying to make them look more intimidating, but sadly they just kind of left it with just Alistair. He was a real one. Actually, you know what show does that perfectly? Villainous. Like with Black Cat showing all of his like really cool abilities, how he always introduces himself in the most intimidating way possible, the way he teleports the characters over here. Everything about it just looks really cool. And I wish Hazbin Hotel did more with that. Another problem I heard with this show is that there's too much red. And I know it's hell and all, but why do these characters also have to wear red clothes? It just makes them blend too much in the background for me. Maybe they could either desaturate the background or like change the colors of some of the characters. I know some characters like Alistair mostly like depends on the red. So they could probably just try to make the background with more like vibrant colors. Like in Hell of a Boss, they use a lot of greens, blues, pinks, and yellows to try to make the characters stick out better from the background. And plus it just looks cooler. Also, I kind of feel like this show has a downgraded animation from Hell of a Boss, with the animation looking very inconsistent, where like in some cases look incredible. Like I cannot stress how good it looks whenever the animation gets more fluid or like the stronger arcs and the composition looks incredible. But in other cases, it kind of looks like oddly stiff and awkward. And I know that might sound really bitchy and nitpicky, but I'm not really saying this as like more of a flaw to the show because it looks still a lot more better than a lot of other shows out today. But it's just that, you know, comparing it to like Hell of a Boss, where it looks absolutely godly in every frame of it, using like masterful composition, timing, and shading, on top of the, I gotta look for another word for great. Okay, on top of the superb animation. Though there are some people that like to make fun of the designs, I will not deny that the animation itself looks absolutely incredible. Vivian and her team does know their principles of animation. From the solid drawing to the squash and stretch to the arcs, all of them were masterfully done. Making for one of the best looking cartoons I've seen so far, if not the best. And with the Hazbin Hotel palette being a lot more ambitious, I was hoping for the animation to live up to that. But unfortunately, it just couldn't live up to Hell of a Boss. No disrespect to any animators, they still make animations that look a lot better than other shows and definitely better than mine. It feels kind of like a slight downgrade to Hell of a Boss. And that's what a lot of the show felt like. a downgrade to Elva Boss. And the pilot as well. With the animation downgraded, the humor downgraded, the characters downgraded, the porn downgraded. No! No. I'm just here to talk about the art. So where am I? Oh yeah, the energy kind of downgraded as well from the pilot. With the expressions looking a lot more stilted, and it tries to keep a lot more on model. Eventually it does look better, but something about it just kind of loses a bit of the charm. It shows a lot when you compare the pilot to the actual cartoon. Like where in the pilot, it has a lot more of an extreme way of showing the curves, the poses, the mouth extending from the faces, where it gives it a lot more personality, and it could work a lot with the comedy as well. Though it is really inconsistent. Not with the animation downgrading, but with the style of animation changing, where you could tell when the scenes change between animators, where the colors, the line art, and the proportions being a lot different. Kind of reminds me of a regular show, where in early seasons it has a lot more loose expressions and the line art looking a lot more sloppier, where it has a lot more weight on some edges. It gives it a lot more charm, but when we arrive to the newer seasons, we get more cleaner lines and more solid movement, making it looking objectively better, but subjectively it kind of looks more boring and not really setting it apart from other shows. Just kind of has like that perfectionist look to it. A lot of other shows have that problem as well, where earlier on it has a lot more looser expressions and much more stronger poses, but then later on it just goes for a lot more of a cleaner style, making it look really boring and more artificial. So does Hazbin Hotel look bad? Of course the fuck not. The show looks incredible and a lot more better than a lot of other shows. But this video is more about talking about the actual designs of the shows. And also how it doesn't really look as good as Hell of a Boss, despite being a lot more ambitious, sadly. But at the end of the day, all I can do is just hope that the animation can live up to the expectations I'm holding next season. Where I hope they can improve on the color palette, push the expressions more, probably make the expressions work better with the humor. Especially with the dialogue being a little messy. But shows like Brain Up and The Boondocks can show that delivery and expression alone can work wonders for comedy. But nah, our cross eyes are just funny enough, you know. Congratulations. 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 But it could also be that those shows also have a lot better of a script. Like, geez, at least My Reasoning doesn't have so many plot holes in it. Oh, and instead of swearing as well, in contrast with the childish writing.
Peter, what are you doing?
Gay shit!
What the fuck? Fuck? Hey, at least I'm not. This isn't exactly. Donald Trump!
Well, hello all of you. So this video is a little bit weird because I didn't really do much animation in it. Because I just need a little bit more time for next episode of Off Topic. And I may as well get a video out meanwhile. Hoping this video does a lot better because my friend is beating me in views and I can't just let my work lose. So I hope we get to 10K views. So who's with me? Get out! Okay, before I leave, I just gotta say this part literally looks like a fucking A and B. Okay, bye.